Hiya, Wendy here from Lolly Dolly Crafts. Today I'm going to just do a little tutorial on colouring with Prisma pencils. The image I'm using is called Goldilocks and it's by Sugar Nelly, and it's available from Funky Kits online. You'll need some Sansador oil colour low odour solution, which isn't for blending. You'll need some blending stumps, and some Prisma pencils. Okay, I've stamped the image with Memento to just clean off the end of my blending stumps if I need to. I've got a file, crafting file. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to use my lightest colour, which is light peach, and I'm just going to go around the outside of her face. Just putting a line around the outside. Doesn't have to be too thick. Sorry, I've got something underneath my craft mat that I can feel when I'm colouring, which it shouldn't, because I've just I just cleaned them today. Okay, so we'll carry on. So just laying this, they're oil-based pencils, like this. They've got sort of like a waxy feel to them. So normally for the facing that I use a medium blending stump, possibly a size 3 or a 4. That's a size 4. And sorry, just make sure you can see. I can't do it upside down, so you'll have to bear with me while I do it. And all you're doing is, with the solvent, just keep dipping it in. You don't have to over wet it. It's better to have, to go back to blend it out than it is to okay, so that's my first layer. Oil-based pencils tend to be opaque, so I try not to colour around the eyes because it tends to dull the features. You can go back in over with a fine line pen afterwards. If you're going to use these with any alcohol-based inks, make sure you do your alcohol colouring first and your Prisma colouring afterwards, otherwise the oil in the Prisma will ruin your pens, your alcohol-based pens. Okay, so just be aware that not to use a Copic or that on top, but you can use these on top of Copics, if you get my meaning. Okay, so I'm going to go on to my next darkest colour, which is the Deco Peach, and again I'm just going to put a layer around the outside where I think it's going to be the darkest, and then I'm just going to go back and blend that out. I will say to you that this is my second attempt on trying to colour this in, because the first time I got as far as doing the whole of the face and realised I hadn't pressed play on my record on my camcorder, so I'd already done the face. But anyway, that's fine. It's all good fun. So the next layer we're going to use is Nectar. Okay, and again it's just a case of laying it down, and you'll see this one's is darker, so we're going to put it, sort of around. And as I'm building it up, I can feel the waxy feel underneath my where the layers are being built up. Okay, So then just pull this, just the edge out. So it just blends it in. And if you still feel it needs a bit more blending, you just dip your stump into the sponge. Okay, that's that one. So now I'm going to use a little bit of pink for her cheeks. Then I'm just going to blend that out, just so it takes the harshness of the, just softens the pink down. Okay. Oops, there we go. So that's her face. I'm going to go in with some, what have we got? That's right, I'm just looking at my pencils at the minute. I'm going to go in with this, it's called, the writing's so small on here I can hardly see it. Salmon pink, just around this here, and then just where it would be sort of like the darkest. I'll just blend that down. Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm going to go on, just do a neck. Just blend that in. It's quite a small area. So. Okay, so that's her neck. And then sorry about my squeaky chair. I just realised when I started filming that when I sat down on it, I've got another chair in here that I could probably do with swapping it over with, because when I move on this chair all you hear is creak. And obviously I never noticed it before because I wasn't filming, I was using a different chair upstairs. Okay, so I'm going to go on and do her legs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer a colour down where I first of all starting where I think the shadows are going to be. The same sort of principle with you know, just layer a nice layer down, and again on this side. Okay, and then using my stump, I'm going to blend that out. I do find that when I'm colouring with Prisma pencils or polychroma pencils, it tends to be quicker in colouring than it does if I'm using an alcohol ink pen. Don't ask me why. So, okay, so that's... And the good thing about these is, if you haven't got a lot of colours and you can't lay layers down because you haven't got a lot of colours, you can still get a good effect with just the one pencil. You know, you can still blend it with just the one pencil. So I'm going to go back over that just with my that little darkest colour. And then again I'm just going to blend that out. These are great pencils to use with alcohol-based ink pens, just to, you know, help with any shading that because once you've coloured in with your normal Copics and then you maybe just want a little bit of shading, but you know you don't want to use the darkness of the pen. These are really good. So I'm just going to soften that up. Okay, so that's my face and her legs. Okay, and I'm just going to do her hands, which again is quite a small area. So. Okay, just adding some colour where I think it would be darkest, and then just pulling that down. Okay, right, so now we're going to move on to just put these back in my stand. And then I'm going to pick some colours for her shoes. So if you just bear with me, I'll be back in a minute while I pick some colours. Oh yeah, I'm back. Okay, so now I found a warm grey, which is a 20% warm grey for her socks. I'm going to use chocolate and beige sienna for her shoes. Okay, I'm only going to use one pencil on her sock. I don't need lots and lots of colours because I'll use the stump to do the shading. Okay. Right, so with this I'm just going to lay some of this warm grey just sort of like along the edges. It's good if you've got an image that's has already got the creases there for you, because half the work's done as far as layering the you know, the shadows. So and then what I'm going to do is pull that colour out. And what this does is it takes the harshness off the lines and sort of spreads the okay, spreads the colour about. Just And you can have the you know, the depth of colour as much or as deep as you want. It's just a case of going over and over, you know, creating layers. Okay, so that's her socks. So I'm going to do her shoes. So I'm going to do, oh, I'm about to stick my pencil in. So again, I'm just going to add some colour. To the sides here. And also the good thing about these pencils is that you don't really need to wait, you don't have to wait for them to dry. You just sort of, you know, because they're obviously not alcohol based, which means that when you use an alcohol based, if you walk away, obviously the quicker you do it, then the less the alcohol evaporates. But with these they don't, because obviously there's nothing to evaporate. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend that edge out. It's just a case of just keep dipping into your solvent. I've got mine in a little pot with a sea sponge in it, just to, that way I don't oversaturate my stick. I'd rather keep dipping it into my pot than oversaturating by sticking the whole. It lasts longer this way as well. Okay, so that's, and this sort of look gives it quite a watercoloured look as well. So I'm just going to go back. Just there, that crease there. Oops. I'm just going to pull up. Pull that second colour. Oh. I'm not too worried that I've just gone over the line a little bit on that bit there, because I can get rid of that. All you need is a clean blending stump and you just go back. Okay, so that's which I'm going to do now. Here's a fine one. That's probably coloured that in more than what I should have done. But that's fine, because I can go over that with some blue, because it's quite a dark area anyway. Okay, so that's the feet. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to her hair, and with the hair, I pretty much do this in sections as well, building up the colours I want to use. So I want to give her a sort of like a blonde colour, so I'm going to use this jasmine cream, and then probably quite a sort of browny, reddy sort of colour to no, that's no good, to do the where the hair will be darkest. Probably, what's this one? This is mineral orange. I don't want to give her really ginger hair. What have we got? What have we got? Burnt ochre. I'll try that. I think. So what colour is that? Golden mod. Might even try that one. So I'm going to try and use those colours. Okay. So that's cream, jasmine, oops, golden mod, and then this dark, which is burnt ochre, just for the fine tip. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this section, that section here, and I'm just going to give it a layer all over with the cream. So I'm just going to put that all over. And the reason why I'm doing it all over is because I want it to have a blondie sort of look. I want it, the base of it to be quite stronger than this with using the cream. So I'm going to lay this down first. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my jasmine and just at the ends. I'm going to add okay, and then I'm going to blend that in. Just I do find it a lot harder to make it look like there's a lot of texture in the hair when I'm using the Prisma pencils, because it's opaque. It does tend to cover the lines, but like I said, you can always, even with a fine black Prisma pencil, you can go back over and just add the lines back in if you haven't got a fine line pen. So I'm just going to add. Now this is my darkest colour, so I'm just going to add that to the ends first, and then with my mid colour, which is the golden mod, I'm just going to go over that, just to, I'm going to use that to blend it rather than the oil, because if you do it with the oil on the hair, it all it blends it, and you end up, the colours sort of go into one another, whereas if you use the pencils to do the blending, it tends to not be so bad. So I lay the darkest down first, and then use the mid colour to and then just go back over with a bit of the cream. Okay, so that's that section. So I'm going to move on to this section here, and again I'm going to lay down a colour all over the cream. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so with my this one, I'm just going to layer some more down where I think it's going to be the darkest, so like around by the knee and the curves of the hair. Okay. And then with the dark colour I'm going to go in again and add some more colours. To where I think it's going to be darkest. Okay, then I'm going to use my middle colour just to pull that sort of down a bit. And then I'm going to use my cream just to blend that edge out. And I just find this way, if I'd have used the blending stamp to blend it, it would have just made the colours, like I said, all sort of merge into each other, and you'd end up with a flat. It's easier doing it this way on the hair than it is doing that way with the shoes and the face and stuff like that, because obviously what you want is more subtle sort of look, but with the hair obviously you want something a little bit more. Okay, so that's that one. So now I'm going to do this this section here. So again I'm going to add, and this is like kiddie colouring, like when you were younger. And then again, just the next layer, just going over with the burnt ochre. And then using the golden mod just to pull that out a bit more. And then blend it in with the cream. Okay, so that's that bit. Okay, so now we're going to move on to, I missed a bit there. Another piece of advice and a good way of doing it is making sure your pencils stay sharp as well. It's easier to colour. Some of mine do need sharpening, so I'm going to do this bit here now. So, what this cream does is it sort of lays down a base, if you like. Okay, so then I'm going to again, my middle colour, just to pull that down. And then with my cream, just to blend that all together. Okay, there we go. That's that side. So now I'm going to move on to this little section of the hair here. So I think my nib's broken on this one. I'm trying to do it. That's the only thing I do find about these pencils, is that they're, because obviously you're trying to get a fine point on them, they do tend to, the nibs break easily. And also try put, if you're going to pencil sharpen them, I've got a proper Prisma pencil sharpener. Stick them in the fridge for a little while before you just to harden the waxy part up of the I'm just going to go over that with the cream. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to do this sweeping piece of hair there. Okay. Obviously, because it's like a waxed oil sort of based pencil, they do blunt quite quickly. And I've done this. Mrs. Brown Boys is on again tonight, yay! And Miranda, two of my favourite comedy programmes. I should be going in to watch them. I'm feeling a lot better. I went to the doctors in the end because I was a bit worried as to why I kept getting this falling over feeling. And apparently they've given me some steroids that I have to sniff twice a day. I've got a balance problem. It can be corrected with exercises that I have to do with my eyes and just like making it sort of giving it a kickstart again. So, and then there we go, just bring that down with the middle colour. And then just blending the rest of it with the cream. And when you're actually colouring this way, because you've laid lots of layers of the sort of like the waxy crayon, it's not wax but the oily bit from the middle of the crayon, you do get sort of, you can see you know, sort of where you've done it. Okay, so that's her hair. It's looking good. I like how that's turned out. Okay, I just might need to add something around by her hairline. I'm not too happy about the shadow in there, but I'm not too worried about that for the moment. All I need to do is now is just to do her clothes and then her bow. So I'm going to pause this now, and in part 2 we're going to do her clothes, and then I'm going to do around the outside of the image. Okay, so back in a minute for part 2. Bye.